Hey guys. All right, we're gonna wait for a couple of people here. Hi, I'm good. I'm good. How are you? Can't wait to hear about this. Well, we're just gonna do a general question and answer, especially after yesterday's video about this new, what is it called? Verified carrier. Hi, is anyone here from, well, we have 26 people, looks like right now. Anyone here from Southern California? How are you guys doing? I hope everyone is safe. And if you're hauling in California, that you're also safe. It's craziness here. California, Los Angeles updates. Actually, it's funny because we're not in like I am not in an mandatory evacuation zone, but I'm right on the cusp of one. Um, there's not even a smell of smoke at this point. I don't know what is going on. But I'm hoping that you guys are safe, those of you who are in Southern California right now. We're okay. There's no way I was gonna miss this one. I have so many questions. All right, let's go. Is it a good year to start into trucking? You know what? I get this question a lot. I was just answering an email, same question, and I told the gentleman that it depends on who you ask. Some people think that if you start in a down market, you are going to be better for it and you're going to be able to survive and learn how to survive in a down market, especially considering that this is a very down market right now. But on the other hand, and something I told this guy is that one thing that might be very challenging right now for those who just come in is actually finding brokers who are going to give you loads because as a new MC number, it can be challenging. Thank you. Is fuel going up with insurance? Yeah, apparently diesel prices are on their way up and the futures look like they're skyrocketing right now. Yeah. Nova, I'm from Southern California. I hope you're safe. How are you doing? I know so many people have lost their homes. People have perished in the fire. It's crazy. What up? Not much. Hi, dudes. Hi, dude. um, sorry, pardon me for a second. Who is this Yahoo? Strange dude. Thank you so much. I'm actually in the process of learning Spanish. So hopefully, in maybe like 6 months, I'm able to actually form a complete sentence. I'm really excited. Uh, did you cover everybody that you're streaming now? What do you mean, did I cover everybody that I'm streaming now? You mean, did I warn people that I'm going to be streaming? No, I did not. I mean, I try to schedule 2 hours in advance so that people see that a stream is going to start within 2 hours. But unfortunately, these streams are so random that I'm not able to plan ahead. Good morning. Amazing. Hi. Do you think trucking will get better or worse than last year? I think trucking is already a little bit more manageable than last year, at least from what I'm realizing. And again, we are a flatbed only carrier. And even so, even though this is not the season for flatbeds, I do see that it is a little bit easier. I was just in Utah, and for the first time, by the way, they're like, it's interesting. Number one in terms of like the friendliest people ever was Australia. A very close second is Utah. Those are amazing people there. But yeah, anyway, I was able to book loads. I mean, it was pretty easy. It was very interesting. Actually, yesterday I was already here And I told my husband that I think it's time to go back to Utah because I had really good luck booking loads from there. Um, but yeah, no, it is easier to book loads right now from what I am noticing, even for flatbeds. Hey, dude. New fire in Jurupa Valley, 30 miles from home. Yeah, I actually saw that yesterday. My husband, for some reason, got an evacuation order. I don't know. I mean, he's like he very private, so I don't know what address he used. I didn't get it, and I know that our place is not under mandatory evacuation. But again, you go outside and it doesn't even smell like smoke. Now, last when was it that I was leaving? Last Wednesday and last Tuesday, the day of our audit, I remember it was smoke everywhere. And last Wednesday, it was so windy. I was freaking out a little bit. But yeah, nothing right now. Thanks for mentioning that Chrome extension the other day. You're so welcome. Yeah, it helps. The Load Hunter, it really helps. I am having more than 150 plus successful dispatchers earning from home. That's amazing. Um, didn't fully understand your comment, but okay. Hello. Hold on, let me make this a little bit bigger. Uh, he's asking if your fleet is covered with loads. Oh, what question was? Oh, did you cover everybody that you're streaming now? Yeah, I did. I do not do any videos. I do not do anything with YouTube. I do not do anything until all my trucks are covered. That is like a rule of mine. Business comes first. YouTube is a hobby more than a business. So hobby comes second. YouTube sends a notification. Yep. My question is best factoring an insurance company to be affiliated with. So I'm going to tell you who we use. We use for factoring RTS. I actually really, really enjoy working with RTS because they have been helpful. And I actually just also answered a question via email on that. 99% of people at RTS are so easy to talk to and they're there to help. There's, you know, I think, how long have we been using RTS? Almost 2 years for factoring, maybe a little bit more. Um, in all that time, I only had one lady who I had to kind of, for lack of a better word, to put in her place. And that was 2 days ago on Saturday. It was on Saturday because she kind of lost the plot a little bit. But other than that, RTS has been amazing. In terms of insurance companies, we have been with Benchmark for I mean, pretty much the whole time, except for in the beginning where we were with Trisura, which was a new insurance at that time. I believe it was a Canadian insurance that was just trying to break into the US market. But Benchmark. Hello, I'm looking into running LTL loads in a box truck, interested in Florida. In your opinion, do you think this would be profitable with a brand new MC? So I do not specialize in box trucks. I have actually never worked with box trucks, so I'm not very familiar with them on the business side and what kind of rates you can get. I can tell you this just from my experience. Intrastate in Florida might be interesting because usually Florida to Florida can pay pretty okay for semi trucks. In terms of new MC, are you working with brokers? Because if it's with brokers, you might have a harder time finding loads because a lot of brokers put in a ton of requirements on existing carriers and they're kind of scared of new carriers altogether. So there might be a challenge there. I do not like recommending, sorry, TQL because I do not work with them. But for new MCs, TQL is one of those brokers that does work with new motor carrier authorities. I work with a direct shipper, and my load per week has dropped for 60% for me. It's a big cut now. I've been in the open market and not much loads on the load board. I run North Cal, SoCal only. Yeah, so California right now is going to be pretty empty. I'm actually maybe going to do a video on it. I was even thinking of showing just driving around LA, maybe going to Malibu and Pacific Palisades and showing what the destruction looks like because it's horrific. I'm sure you guys have seen it on the news, but of course, with every disaster, and I I feel kind of like a jackass saying this, but with every disaster comes an opportunity. There's going to be rebuilding, obviously. So many people have lost their homes. It's just a mess. Um, is but right now, because of these wildfires, I don't think California is going to be very, very busy. Also, in terms of the contract market, I do believe I read somewhere that shippers are really trying to keep it's 11/11, make a wish. I do believe that shippers, at least in California, believe that shippers are trying to keep a lid on contract rates because the spot market is still riding the high of the holiday season a little bit. Hi, Heriberto. Scary stuff is my jam. Besides, what other tales did you grow up with in your homeland? Was there something especially creepy? Like actual scary story. I used to love scary stories as a kid. But all the scariest, I mean, my favorite books growing up were Goosebumps. Goosebumps. I think I read pretty much all of them. um, in terms of where I grew up, I spent a lot of time in the Czech Republic growing up, and in the Czech Republic, there are a lot of these castles, and there's one where they say that a mother lost her child in the 1800s or something, and that her ghost uh, walks the whole halls. Is that kind of like that what you want to know about the scary stories like that? Um, but in general, I grew up with American scary stories. I have been in an American school since kindergarten. Yeah. So I can tell you a lot of creepy stories from my experience, but that would take up the whole life. Um, Good question. Do you think it's worth owning three different trailers, flatbed, dry van, reefer? Thank you. You know what? I was just thinking about that a few days ago. If I could, I would have all three types if they were paid off, obviously, not if they were rented um, or financed. If I had the ability to have all three types of equipment, that would be great because right now I know reefers are doing pretty well in Illinois, or at least they were a week ago. Flatbeds are kind of in the down season right now. Dry vans, I believe, are doing a little bit better towards the East Coast. But yeah, it gives you flexibility. That's part of the reason we rent our flatbeds because if the market starts being unbearable for flatbeds, we can just give away our trailer, cancel insurance like that, no more payments, and just rent something else. Do you teach dispatching classes? I do have a course on dispatching. Yes, it's on my website, um, truckingmadesuccessful.com. You can click the dispatching class. Yes, RTS is great. I have had no issues. Yeah, they're really, really great. Everything is very transparent. If you have, like, in the beginning, when I started using them, I was really confused about the percentage, and then they take reserves sometimes, which hasn't happened in a while with us. And whenever I had a question, they explained it to me until I actually understood what they're talking about. So I've been very happy with RTS. You said my name, now I feel special. I just applied for my MC today. Wouldn't have been able to do it without your videos. Oh, congratulations, Casey. Here's hoping that business is good. um, Hi, Ian. Can I ask? Everyone, I mean, for everyone who's here, can I ask a favor? Can we not use those cutesy names? Miranda is more than okay. But yes, my resident, it's not near Los Angeles, quite near Los Angeles, but it's in the area, yeah, where the fires are. I mean, the fire is not next to me. I don't even know why we're on the um, possible evacuation order list, to be quite honest. How's the new year treating you so far? So, actually, I have to say, I have made it, I don't make resolutions for New Year's, but I have made it a point to keep, like, to prioritize me and how I feel and not let myself get too stressed out or too anxious. And it's been working, knock on wood. It's been working. So, the new year has been treating me pretty well. Yeah, plus I got to go on my first vacation in over 6 years. So, that was great. Uh, is is it true that you're married to a popular Prussian prince and that is how you funded your trucking company? If not, then how did you get started? No, I'm not married to any prince, any Prussian prince. No. How did I get my husband is actually not part of the trucking industry at all. He's in a completely different, also overregulated industry. So we do like to complain about how overregulated everything is. In terms of how I got started, my family members they had an idea to get into trucking and they wanted me to help them open it. And it was a deal where they said, okay, you don't have to do anything else because at that time I was a fashion recruiter. And they just told me, you will probably be able to do it better. Just help us open the company and that's it. And then do your own thing. And as I was opening the company, uh, I kind of it was such a learning curve. I just fell in love with the idea of trucking. And then I decided, okay, I'm going to try and dispatch my own truck. At that time, it was one truck. And I just fell in it was so much fun. I really, really enjoyed it. And now it's you start really loving something that you start that you understand. And because I do understand how the trucking industry works, I mean, I don't know everything obviously, but I'm starting to understand the data. I'm starting to understand how the market moves. I understand all that compliance stuff. Speaking of which, I'll probably make a whole compliance course for new entrant audits that will be applicable to pretty much any audit since we just had another one that we passed. But yeah, once you understand a subject, and that subject it's clear to you but you also learn every day, you fall in love with it. So I really, really like the trucking industry. You're rocking and rolling. Did I miss a question from you, Heriberto? I don't think I did. Do you have a favorite drug testing company to use? So I have always been with DISA. Before it was called Fleet Screen, I believe, but now they changed their name to DISA or DISA acquired them. So DISA 360 is the one that we have been using pretty much since the beginning. Yeah. We need your help for Strike. Yeah, so there was a moment where I was ready to start something up, but then something I realized pretty quickly, I would say, is that people really like to talk about how a strike should happen. But when it comes to actually parking their trucks, they either don't want to, they disappear, or they cannot because they have truck payments. A strike without numbers is not a strike. It just doesn't work. And I realized that there are a lot of folks who like to talk about it, but they're not ready to join in. And when more folks do that, obviously there's going to be a small group of people who actually parks their trucks while everyone else is just running. This is the United States. Every industry is overregulated. Yeah, 100%, 100%. But there are a few that are, I mean, insanely so. Also, we are in California, which has its own extra regulations, which make it pretty difficult. um, but yeah, we were in Utah. We were passing by. There was a funeral home. I mean, it's sad to talk about, but we were talking about how now that is a business that is always in demand. That is horrible. It's a love-hate relationship with trucking, 100%. I've been pretty happy with how this year has been going so far. And I think it has to do with how you perceive everything. I just decided to change my perception of the industry and to look at things in a different light and to take problems with a grain of salt. And I've been much calmer so far. Cheap rates is the carrier's fault. They suppress themselves by hauling for peanuts. 100%. Yeah, that is very, very true. Now, like I made the video yesterday about verified carrier. This is also, if that actually blows up, that's also going to be the carrier's fault. I don't know who in the world is actually signing up and paying 10 to $100 per month for that service. Not even if it gives you a second chance with a broker. It doesn't remove a freight guard, right? It's just with one broker, you have the privilege of working with them if you pay $10 per month or more. And what is it called? And give out your bank login information. It's insane. No. Oh, I guess I didn't miss a question. That's good. Trucking, you either love it or hate it. Midwesterner here. I love it. Been at it for roughly over 30 years. That is amazing, John. Yeah, I mean, sometimes either my business partner or my mom, for example, they will say like, "Why do you need this?" Because it does get hard, and I can't imagine getting out of it. I really can't. I enjoy it. Is it stressful? 100%. But what isn't stressful, right? Where they get amnesia. Mm. In Europe, there's more regulation. Yeah, that's true. That's what I heard. That's what I heard. Do you have a way or idea how to report bad brokers and their ways of doing business? You know what? There are so many, even Carrier Assure, I believe, has a rating system for brokers. The issue is that they're not being, there's not enough people reporting brokers, so it doesn't do anything. Doesn't matter. It's not like a freight guard against the carrier, which can actually ruin a carrier's business. I believe on Truck Stop, you can leave reviews for brokers. On DAT. You could leave reviews for brokers, but there's no like powerful system for that, unfortunately. Strike never will happen. Truckers talked about it in the 1980s. Yeah, I think that a lot of people like to talk about it, but when it comes to actual action and when they start thinking about what that means to strike, to actually strike, they're like, yeah, no. What accounting software works best for day-to-day operations for tax purposes? Tracking. Currently use Google Sheets and Albus. I use Airtable to track my loads, to track payments, to track maintenance schedules. Everything is on my Airtable. Expenses, all of that. Um, I also use QuickBooks for official invoicing, and then my CPA has access to my QuickBooks to actually run the balance sheets and the profit and losses. And although I do my own, but my way of doing things is different than the official way of doing things. So he kind of hates me a little bit when I start messing with my QuickBooks account. He actually called me and said, let's not do this anymore. Like, okay, no problem. But yeah, Airtable has been lifesaver for me. Have a lovely day. Bye bye. Bye. Do you do internships? Do you need shadow help? Not at the moment. I think that if we are to expand, like really expand the way I want to expand, absolutely, I'm going to do internships. It's going to be so much fun. Yeah, no, I have big goals in mind for the trucking company. Big, big goals. My ultimate goal is to not just have a trucking company, it's to have a trucking side, a brokerage side, maybe freight forwarding somewhere, obviously work with direct shippers. I have big, big goals in mind. One day I'll reach them. Hi. Do you know if there's any way for me to look at a load board without having an MC number? I don't know at this point. I know DAT used to give access without an MC number. I believe they stopped that. Truck Stop does not. You need an MC number. I think there are some demos you can try out before you sign out. Shall I sign up? Sorry, sign up. Um, yeah. Have you noticed anything different in the spot market? Better rates? I have noticed, no, the rates are not better. I cannot say the rates are better. I'm continuing to notice that negotiating is easier. I have noticed that, like for flatbeds for us, I was able to book loads late. I was able to book loads on the weekend, which is pretty difficult to do. I was able to book loads that deliver on the weekend. And again, negotiating is easier. Negotiating is much easier. So yeah, it's been manageable. Thank you, Alex. I appreciate it. I would love to know how Indian companies can run for cheap 150 per mile, paying drivers, paying new equipment, etc. That is a really, really good question. I am pretty sure if they have those equipment payments, sorry, if they have equipment payments and they're paying their drivers fairly, they're just losing money constantly, and it's just a matter of time. I think that considering the way, at least that's what I heard, that there are a lot of folks in one truck, that they use one truck and then four people are driving it, so they run nonstop. I think considering that, they're able to actually make a small amount of money at a lower rate per mile, and then that amount is worth way more when they send it back home. I do apologize, guys. One moment, please. Um, so YouTube recently started recommending some of your older videos. I saw some from 4 years ago. Do you remember your first video? Where do you see this journey going? That is a great question. My first video is actually not up on YouTube. I remember it was so cringy that I ended up deleting it. I don't remember what it was about. Where do I see this journey going? I have no idea. I was never expecting YouTube to become what it is. This was supposed to be initially uh, just it was twofold. It was supposed to be a platform where we could hire folks to join our team. And it was also supposed to be a platform where I was able to teach people about trucking and opening a trucking company based on my experience, because I had to learn. I was thrown into this industry not knowing anything about it. And I learned a lot. And I was like, okay, let's teach. It turned into market updates and news updates just organically. So I have no idea where it's going to go. I'm just enjoying the ride. Who is the best CPA for a single owner operator? I have no idea. T. Smith, my CPA, he's not a trucking industry professional CPA. So this is a guy who has been with, I mean, helping my husband's family way before we got married. But yeah, in terms of trucking, he does trucking taxes, anything trucking related, I do myself. It's just the income taxes that he does. But trucking taxes I do myself, and he is not knowledgeable about, like, per diem. He's not really knowledgeable about in the trucking industry and so on and so forth. So I have to actually guide him in that sense. But he helps me with balance sheets and profit and loss statements that are to be sent to the IRS and to the California tax, whatever the heck it's called. So yeah. They live in the truck or in California sidewalks. Um, I love messing with my dispatcher. Tell her I'm heading for Key West. Be back in a week. Do you haul any hazmat? We do not, no. We do not have endorsements for hazmats, nor does our insurance cover hazmat. Cheap freight might be the carrier's fault, but whose fault is it that our industry is flooded by foreign drivers that will take peanuts? How do we compete with that? Look, eventually, it's very hard to compete. It's very hard to compete. Yeah. I mean, for the most part, I have to say there's a lot of like a lot of people get okay, let me preface this by saying that everyone probably here knows that I'm an immigrant myself. I was not born in the United States. Um, I am an American citizen though at this point. I think that immigration needs to be a little bit stricter for sure. But I also understand that folks who have a CDL, it's not like a driver's license in California, right? You have to have a document showing that you're legally here, green card, or you're a citizen, perhaps a work permit or whatnot to get a CDL in the United States. So for the most part, the folks who are competing, they are here legally. Now, there are a lot of not to say that there aren't those folks who come here and drive without a CDL. That is also happening. I think I made a video on the guy who actually got deported 10 times, I believe, and he ended up killing a ton of people. Um, yeah, so, but in terms of competing with them, I don't know. Eventually, it's going to balance out because people, for the most part, people cannot afford to run at very cheap rates. It's going to catch up with them. Do you think used truck prices are on the way up or is it the time to buy one? That is a great question, Chuck. I actually have not checked anything about truck prices lately, so I am not sure. I know that, again, I'm going to have to mention my husband because he takes a lot of road trips. He goes past Bakersfield very often. And he said, like, on the way up there, there is what is it, Pride Truck Sales, and he said their lot was empty. There were no used trucks there. So it was quite interesting. Whoa, what happened to my hair? um, so we should do something about that. I just stopped thinking how to give them some of their own medicine. What did I miss? You said something before, probably. Who are we giving medicine to? Oh my goodness. Thank you, Killer Cash. I appreciate it. Everyone who loves this content type, ready? Let's go in the chat. Let's go. Thank you, Killer, for cash. I appreciate it. Um, can I pay for a course and you show me what I need to do as a company owner? So I have 3 courses actually. I have a dispatching course. I have how to start your own trucking company course, and then I have a trucking business management course. If you are already set up as a carrier and you're just trying to figure out how to manage, it would be the business management course. Yeah. Do you think the lumber industry? What about the lumber industry? I think lumber pays like poop lately. Yeah. I don't like when I book lumber loads. I try to avoid them. I like steel, machinery, obviously. Machinery is always good. Military loads, love military loads. Mm, not really a fan of coils. This is the time to buy a truck, even if you just say stay on it and start your business further along the road. Oh, this is the best time to buy a truck right now? Perhaps. Perhaps. If the prices are low right now, yeah. Oh, what is your push to actually see a greater vision for trucking since you joined and never seen it for yourself? I'm an owner operator for a year and debating should I plan an exit. What do you mean, Nick? I'm sorry, I didn't fully understand your question here. If you could rephrase, I would be glad to answer. I'm in desperate need. Oh, this is what to do as a company owner. Yeah, again, I have the trucking business management course. If you're looking to open your trucking company, I have that course as well. Start an app for carriers that brokers fear, reverse the table. Look, I think there are a ton of those around. There are a ton of review apps for brokers. I mean, that carriers use against brokers. But unfortunately, not enough carriers use it, so it doesn't have the same effect, you know? The power is in the numbers always. Say no to cheap freight. Absolutely. Absolutely. Oh, do you know if the lumber market prices will pick up soon? The rates are cheap at the moment to haul. Yeah, they're very cheap. Lumber is usually not the best paying, to be quite honest, from my experience. I think lumber going to, I think just in general, construction materials going to California in a few months from now, I think the volume is going to be so high that those rates might go up because again, everything is destroyed here. Everything. Well, not everything, but it's a mess. It's a mess and it's very sad to see. Pacific Palisades was like one of those places I aspired to one day live in because it was, I mean, it was beautiful. It's gone. It's not there anymore. Do you also pace the floor when you're highly focusing? I actually don't. When I'm really, really focused, I can just sit and stare into nothing and just think. Yeah, I don't pace. I will start yeah, no, I don't think I ever pace. No. I can pace not when I'm in my office. I can pace when I'm somewhere and I'm pissed off on the phone. That's when I start walking around and doing this talking to someone, but other than that, no. Hi, BTC trucker. Um, Hi, I'm new to this industry. Could you suggest some resources where we can get work from home job in this industry? I think the two work from home jobs that you could potentially do is as a broker, if your employer allows it, or if you start your own brokerage, or as a dispatcher. I like the market updates and all. Yeah, those are fun to do. I decided that I'm not going to do them live. I think the market updates will continue to be pre-recorded and uploaded. Is Miranda the YouTuber a lot more easy going than Miranda the dispatch manager? Will Miranda the mega carrier soon take over? Should we be afraid? I love this question. I talk about him a lot. I mean, it's wrong to say that I had a favorite, but one of my favorite guys that worked on our team, he will always be my favorite. I will always have like a soft place in my heart for him. Uh, I told him that, listen, if I ever manage to become a huge carrier, just call me out. If I ever become that kind of person who, thinks of everyone as a number rather than a human being, he's like, no problem, I will. But yeah, YouTuber, a lot more easygoing than. So I think that's a interesting question. Me, myself, as a person, which is pretty much the closest thing to Miranda, the YouTuber. I am a pretty easygoing person, and I try to remain positive. Me as not even a dispatch manager, me as a like when I take on the role where I have to book loads or I'm managing the company, I become less easygoing. I try to always remain polite, but I'm starting to finally learn. It's really difficult for me to actually learn this, but I'm starting to finally learn how to be a little tougher, a little bit more cutthroat. Not, I don't really like doing that though, because that's not my personality. I'm a very easygoing person in general. What software do you use to file your business taxes? You mean like income taxes? I don't use a software. It's my CPA who does it. In terms of trucking, the websites that are like IFTA is done on the California IFTA site. 2290 is done through the, uh, what is it called? R- Rapid something. Yeah. Can we expect change in the trucking industry after Trump takes oath? I don't know. I've been thinking about this a lot too, and I haven't come to a conclusion yet. If you ask people, I mean, obviously there a lot of folks are divided. There are some people who absolutely love him, some people who absolutely hate him, and very often their own personal opinions come into play when trying to predict the future. But yeah, it depends on who you ask. Me personally, I try to stay away from politics. And from an objective view, I don't know. I don't know. I think there's going to be a change. I just don't know which way it's going to go, how positive or negative, how people will react to the changes as he takes office, and so on and so forth. So, pretty hard to predict. um, With the prices going up, some of our loads value went up 100%. How high is your cargo insurance? 100,000. Our cargo insurance is the regular 100,000. I'm starting to see more and more brokers asking for not the auto liability, general liability insurance, and also 250,000 in cargo. I'm not going to get that down. Yeah, I think his name is Alex. Mother Trucker. Yeah, I think I'm actually subscribed to him. I enjoy his videos. In terms of interviews, interviews are just not really my thing. I just got a request from another trucking channel that I need to respond to do an interview. They're also pretty well known. I forgot what his name is though. But yeah, pretty known trucking channel. I'm not a fan of interviews. I don't think I'm that important to. I mean everything I that I can say, I say on my channel, right? I don't gatekeep. And there's nothing that interesting about me as a person that I would share in an interview. Does that make sense? Ready? Let's go. So many let's goes. So you have to deal with brokers as best as you can, especially if you're a small carrier, meaning less than 30 trucks and can't bid on contracts. So have to do your best to reach your margins. Yeah. Yeah. I think it's funny. I get a comment here and there saying that if your business depends on the spot market, you don't have a business. I disagree. I disagree because I know I'm not the only one who managed to build something using the spot market. Is the spot market volatile? 100%. Can you rely on it like all the time? No. But the spot market is the reflection of what's happening in the world right now, or in the United States. Let's think smaller. Um, so yeah, I managed to. I mean, I really enjoy using the spot market. Do I want to have direct shippers in the future? Yeah, of course. Trucks are cheaper now. There we go. Good time to buy a truck. Corporate law is AI programming and indoctrination legal. Da-da-da-da. Stephen, I think maybe I'm too tired to understand the comment. I'm a little sleepy for some reason. I don't know why. It's 11, it's 12 o'clock. Oh, you said you have big plans for this industry. What's your thought process and helps to stay in the industry? Look, I'm pain in the ass. If you ask my business partners, they will tell you that I'm a pain in the ass in terms of how I manage money and how stingy I am. It's horrible because okay, I need to save myself here a little bit. I'm a very giving person as a person. But when it comes to business, I manage every single cent, sometimes to an extreme. And I think this comes from the trauma I received of as the market started going down, realizing that, hey, we are having a very, very hard time. So, yeah, I'm a pain in the butt for the most part when it comes to managing my business. And I think that that kind of management, being so strict with everything, is what helps me understand that there is a future. Because I stopped looking at the market as something that's going to save us. I started looking at our company and managing how can we manage our company, live lean, and make sure that we don't minimize spending money on things that we don't really need in order to survive any type of downturn or whatnot. Um, yeah, I think it's all about money management. Thank you, Gilberto. It's super cold in Chicago and we had a lot of accidents, but seeing what's happening in California, this cold doesn't seem so bad anymore. You know, first of all, thank you so much. I appreciate it. California, it's bad. It's bad here, but again, if I look, the sky is completely blue. And if I go outside, there's no smell of smoke. Now, last week, it was pretty bad. Now, I don't know. I don't even know how much they contained the Palisades fire. Yeah, I think it's getting better. I know everyone was talking about, oh, it's going to be really high winds. There were no real winds last night or today. Actually, right now, it's completely still. Yeah. So I think they'll get it under control. But the destruction that already happened, yeah, that's horrific. Right. Once you're self-insured and have your own material to transport or your own customers and your own numbers, of course, your profit will go up. It's ideal goal. Yeah, I think that's a big goal of mine is to get to the point where we can be self-insured. I'm tired of insurance companies. Really tired. Um, yeah, no, I have very big goals and aspirations for this industry for sure. Um, I'm an owner operator. Is it better to elect tax class as an S corp or a C corp? I have a corporation currently taxed as a C corp. One CPA told me a C corp is better, and the other told me S corp. You know what? I teach about it in one of my courses, the business management course. Let me remind myself. C corp versus S corp. One moment, please. Which one is this? I think, no, sorry, maybe it was the carrier course. Sorry, one moment. Okay, yeah. So C Corp, LLC. C Corp is corporate income tax on profits. Shareholders pay personal income taxes on profits called dividends, and it does have double taxation. Whereas S Corp, profits pass through shareholders' personal tax returns. Um, but the C Corp has less restrictions than the S Corp. There's more flexibility with ownership regulations, more growth potential, no limit on shareholders, and shareholders can be from any country if you are interested in that. Yeah. So many flowers. We love flowers. I love flowers. Oh my gosh, I wanna plant sunflowers. Sunflowers and tulips are my 2 favorite flowers in the whole world. Let's go. Never seen a good paying military load on truck stop. Lumber rates always heavy and cheap. My experience, steel products seems stronger. Okay, so lumber, yes. Military loads, oh my gosh. We have hauled quite a few military loads and they pay amazing. Yeah, there was one that they had a lane for a while there. It's gone right now, unfortunately. It was going from California to Washington. It was insane, like from Northern California to Washington. And military loads are the easiest. We've done one from Nevada to California. Pretty much all of our military loads were on the West Coast, although we did have one going from Washington all the way to New York. So I love military loads. I'm sorry, but do you have a course on military loads? I've started the process, but as anything the government does get, I do not have a course on military loads. No, that's a little too specific. We try to, whenever I have a chance, I'll grab a military load, and I'm thinking of actually getting set up with someone. I mean, there are so many military bases around where I live, so I really want to get someone to uh do the I sorry, I got distracted. Uh, I want to get a direct shipper for a military load because we're always in California. Hold on. I'm sorry, guys. One second. We were just talking about the Drug and Alcohol Consortium, DISA, and I think one of my guys got selected for the random drug test. Drug and alcohol, those randoms. Hold on, let's see. Come on. There we go. Okay, cool. Yeah. All right. We'll get that done. Pride is bankrupt. Yes, that's true. Yes, you do great research on the industry. Some I agree and some I don't, but without a doubt, definitely worth watching. It's good content. Thank you so much, Ross. I appreciate it. And remember, even when you don't agree, I always appreciate comments of why you don't agree because that's how I learn from you guys. um, I think my favorite comments are those that say, well, my opinion is different because I actually get to look at it from a different side. Thanks for the cash flow calendar. I love it, right? It is amazing. I use it every single day and it just helps me plan. I have become like a professional in terms of money management right now, thanks to that calendar. And it's all in one place. How are your drivers doing? Did they catch any snowy weather? Actually, yes, Killer for Cash. One of my guys, remember that snowstorm that was passing through Texas? He got stuck on the way to Fort Worth. There, he actually had a 5-hour road closure in Oklahoma. And then as he was passing by, it was just black ice everywhere and just gross. So, yeah, but both of them have. Seen snowy weather and this and that. But that one guy, he was in a really bad situation. Hello from Germany. Hi. Guten Tag. Is that how you say hello? Good day? Mm, mhm. Have you tried 1 0 yet? I've tried Coke Zero. I'm not a fan. I'm trying the Diet the Diet Dr. Pepper. I'm not a fan of this one either. It's so sweet. By the way, something that's really cool that I absolutely loved about Utah is because the LDS church has such a big influence. I know that they're not the folks that are really religious. They are not allowed to drink hot drinks, which means they don't drink coffee or tea. So Utah in Salt Lake City, for those of you who don't know, they have soda bars. So where you go in and instead of coffee, you can get like a soda that's prepared like a Starbucks coffee where they add all these different things. It's delicious. Hey, Chicago, you should have seen all the rigs totaled in the ditches last week going through Ohio. You know what? I've seen videos. I've seen videos. It's insane. Crazy. Also, good morning to Callie. Good morning, although it's already almost 6 minutes to afternoon. Trump changes. Um, You should add third party recruiting to your business. I think you would be a great recruiter. I was a recruiter. I was a fashion recruiter. But I have to say that compared to trucking, recruiting is definitely not something I love to do. but I was a professional fashion recruiter for a while there. Do you know of a great dispatch service company for owner operators for reefer or flatbed? Unfortunately, I do not. I have never used a dispatch company. I have always dispatched my own trucks, so I don't have many to recommend. Although I have heard some good things about Bumblebee Dispatch, Ninja Dispatch, and there was one other one that I forgot. I've tried calling a potential client. I've left messages, emails, and no answers or reply. I really want his business. What can I do? You keep calling, but like spread it out a little bit. You don't want to you don't want him to be in a situation where when he sees your phone number, he's already annoyed. So you keep calling until you get a yes. That's the sales what is it called? Sales tactic, right? Ah, Miranda, tell the new guys that trucking isn't for the experience and the market will eat them alive. You have to either come from trucking or have been in it at least 10 years. It's the most grimiest. Ross, you listen, I agree with this. I agree. But then again, my experience teaches I mean, it shows a different story, right? None of us knew about trucking. But then again, in this time, yeah, if you come into the trucking industry with no experience, you are more likely to end up shutting down. And this is because trucking is a completely different business animal than any other business, right? This is the number one reason. So I agree. Thank you, Sir Sweet. Do you still use Airtables? Of course. Yeah, I use Airtable. I just created a very like elaborate maintenance log and file. So yeah, thank you, Killer Cash. Killer for Cash. I have a confession. I have been cheating on my main Diet Coke with my mistress Diet Pepsi. I'm ashamed. Oh no. You know what? Um, Diet Pepsi, it's funny. I used to only drink Diet Pepsi, but it's sweeter than Diet Coke. So now I prefer Diet Coke. I have like a whole like situationship going here. See, I have my coffee and I have my soda. Yeah, mess. um, let's see. Do you dispatch other than your family members' trucks? I dispatch, it's not just my family members. I dispatch my own fleet. So I'm a carrier, right? We operate under our own MC. So our trucks I dispatch. I do not right now dispatch anyone who has their own MC, right? And we do not lease on at the moment, but I dispatch only under my own MC. I'm not a dispatching service. I'm a carrier whose main job is to just keep the trucking company going and, of course, book loads. Yeah. I think you have all the possibility to become a broker and get those good contracts. Yeah, maybe one day. I have thought about becoming a broker. Like I said before, I was really seriously considering it and then I stopped. Eventually, I do want to become a broker as well. Yeah. Carrier, broker. Yeah, everything. If you need a job, Tyson Foods is hiring out of Springdale, Arkansas. I was not a fan of Tyson Foods when we had a reefer. They took forever to load. But it's funny, I just found out because, again, I went to an American school. It wasn't in America, obviously, it was in Europe. And I just found out that one of my classmates, his name was Robbie, I believe. He is now like the general manager of Tyson Foods. It's very interesting to find out. Like, do you know we hauled for your company? We have trucks. um, do you know the YouTuber Cassius King Trucking? I think he's got a crush on you. I might be mixed. I don't know him like right from the top of my head, but I have heard, I think it was him. I have heard someone saying that he said something, or I don't know. But yeah, no, I'm not very familiar. Um, Hi, Miranda. I want to ask about the taxes, how it works in the trucking industry. Did the broker who you work with send a document? It is my first year. Yeah, so a broker should send you a tax document showing how many loads you did with them and what the total income is, because you are an independent contractor in their eyes, right? Not all brokers do that, though, in my experience. But yeah, if you have any further questions, Ferial, let me know because taxes and trucking, I mean, they work pretty much the same, right? The income is the load income, the expenses are the expenses of your operations, but you also have the per diem. You also have other taxes like IFTA tax, you have IRP registration if you're interstate, you have the New Mexico, Kentucky, Oregon, Connecticut, and New York taxes. There are a lot of different things, the 2290 heavy use tax, heavy vehicle use tax. BTC Trucker, brilliant man, hardcore crypto guy here too. Really? You guys, I don't understand crypto. So I'm very sad. I actually lost some money. I invested something like $100 into Dogecoin and into a very tiny share of Bitcoin. And right now I'm down $6. Obviously, uh, yeah, crypto is not my strong suit. The answer is yes, it will trickle down to trucking, of course. I had a really delicious breakfast this morning, and as I'm watching the stream, I just found a piece of bacon on my shirt. Let me tell you, shirt bacon is delicious. True story. Bon appetit. Bacon is the best. I mean, who doesn't like bacon? I love bacon. um, what are the most successful companies that survived on load boards alone? I don't know. I don't know. I'm pretty sure there are several that use only load boards. But yeah, I don't know. Look, eventually when you become bigger, you can't survive on direct shippers. I mean, it's not as easy to get direct shippers as a small carrier. As you get bigger and you have capacity to offer to a direct shipper, obviously go for a direct shipper. But you have to get to that point first, right? One step at a time. We don't go from step 1 to step 10. Ah. Loading pipe in Houston to Wyoming. See you guys. Time to strap. See you later. By the way, try to end up next to Graybull, Wyoming, if you can. They load late there for flatbeds, and there are some good paying rates. Just a little bit of insight for you. Graybull, Wyoming. I can tell you from experience for a military load that the driver has to have two forms of IDs. I only had a driver's license and a credit card. It started I started carrying my social security card after that. Yeah, that is correct. If you want to get military loads, you have to have a clean background and you do have to have two forms of ID. Usually you have to also have either proof of citizenship, excuse me, a passport or a green card. Although not all military bases will accept a green card holder. A lot of them do require that you are a citizen. So yeah, that is the caveat with military loads, and they do take a while. I mean, when you go to check in, they will check everything. Try Sprite Zero. I did try Sprite Zero. I liked the fact that it wasn't too sweet, but Sprite was never something that I enjoyed. So I can't say I loved Sprite Zero either. Um, dum, dum, dum. Please, are you still accepting lease on authority? How do I get your? You can email me, but not at this time. Not at this time. You can email me though. Yes. How do you think the spot market will be better in 2025 compared to 23 and 2024 in the New Jersey and PA area? The spot freight is up about 10 to 15%. Yeah, I think we're riding the holiday high. I think also because of the crazy weather events, the capacity decreased like it did last year. So last year, January, even for flatbeds, it was an amazing month for us, and we were only flatbed care only doing flatbeds. So, and that was because of the weather and it decreases capacity. So right now, yeah, I would say right now it's really, really nice. Right now, it's really, really nice. In terms of what will happen next, we'll have to wait and see. I am predicting that loads to California for flatbeds, open decks, they're going to increase because there is a ton to rebuild. Apparently, this fire is costing more than even Hurricane Katrina. And as far as I remember, Hurricane Katrina was what kind of jump started the market in when was it? 20 was it Hurricane Katrina in 2018? Um, no, it wasn't Hurricane Katrina. Hold on. Uh, not Hurricane Katrina. It was uh Jesus, what was that thing called? In 2018, what was the hurricane called? I'm so sleepy. Hurricane Harvey. Hurricane Harvey in 2018 is what jumpstarted the market. Um, and Hurricane Harvey was not as bad as Hurricane Katrina. And this fire is apparently has damaged even more. Yeah, not that you can compare. I mean, it's not. Where was I? Geez Louise. Oh, yeah. Okay. Where do you find military loads? Well, I'm planning to go. I live next to a lot of bases. I'm planning to actually go in person, but usually it's through brokers. There are a couple of brokers who pretty much predominantly work with military. And once they find out that, hey, your driver has a clean background and is a citizen and this and that, they kind of call you first. Um, I think she actually said she did a little while ago. Uh, what did I say? um, Hi, I'd like to be a safety manager. Could you please guide me? So I mean, I can answer any questions you have about safety management. I can also answer them via email, but I do not do consultation services at this time, but happy to answer any questions. All right, let me I do apologize. Those are my kids. They're home from school right now because of the fires. Let me go down and answer some questions that are different that I haven't answered yet. So I do apologize if I skip yours. This is going to be recorded, by the way, and posted so you can rewatch it. Um, mm, all right. Do I need to get certificates, FMCSA and DOT and OSHA? OSHA, I'm not sure about. You need an MC. If you're interstate, you need a DOT number, of course, although MC numbers will be nixed in the near future, as far as I know, and you will only need a DOT. Yeah, you will need to get permits for the states. Like there are several states you need permits for: Oregon, Kentucky, Connecticut, New York. I forget New Mexico. Um, do you think they will ever crack down on these lease companies? I mean, you mean the lease purchase programs? I think they are starting to. They're starting to make a plan on how to do it. Uh, crypto equals Ponzi. I don't know. It sounds really good in theory. I didn't make any money on it though. Had a security guard telling me she used to work for Western Express, said it paid like poop. And she was making roughly the same as security guard with overtime and home every day. Um, yeah, that is very sad. See, that's the problem. What people don't understand when someone says there's no money in trucking, it's not actually you don't earn anything. No, that's not the case. It's just the amount you earn a lot of the time is not worth what you are putting yourself through, right? You're living in a truck. If you're interstate, you're living in a truck for 1 week to 2 months at a time, sometimes without going home. Some people just live in their truck and don't take any breaks at all. And the amount of money you earn doing that is just not worth it for a lot of people. Yeah. Up over six figures on crypto, but I've been holding for years. Yeah. I mean, I'm hoping that my $100 somehow turns into 1 million one day. That's the plan. But that's amazing. Up six figures. Wow. Any thoughts about sending a gift basket, donuts, breakfast to a team of our direct clients for appreciation of all the business they have given us? Will I be labeled? I don't even know what that label means, but I don't think there is anything wrong. You mean direct shippers, your direct clients? Okay, listen, if you have direct clients, yeah, absolutely. Why not? The first year I started I started dispatching and we started actually running in October of 2019. So right before those holidays. And I remember that in December, I sent all the brokers we've worked with, I sent them all cards, because I thought at that time, I thought that it's important to build relationships with brokers. So that's what I did. Then I realized that those relationships, for the most part, don't mean anything. But yeah, there's nothing wrong with sending your direct clients, direct customers a gift, uh, especially for holidays. Yeah. Guys, if anyone knows anyone, need a driver for one of my trucks, Ashland, Virginia, if anyone has anyone. um, Best feeling in the world when you got fries, and just when you think you finished them, there's a little more at the bottom of the bag. I remember I haven't had French fries in such a long time. My gosh, I miss bread. This is if you were to ask me, like, what would I devour right now? It wouldn't be anything sweet. It wouldn't be anything fried. It would be bread. I haven't had bread in 2 years, maybe even more. Oh my God, life is passing me by. 2005, yes, correct. That's when Hurricane Katrina, I believe it was. Hurricane Harvey was in 2018. Yeah, there we go, Harvey. Let's see. I have my own authority 2 years and use truck stop. I have noticed a lot of loads long haul for like $1.20 to $1.60. Operators really haul for that cheap. Yeah. People, I mean, what you see it posted for, first of all, it might be partial and they try to use that as an excuse. But yeah, there are people who will take it for cheap. But what the posted rate doesn't mean anything. The posted rate doesn't mean anything because again, as I said before, I see that brokers are very willing to negotiate lately. So yeah, the posted rate, it's like they're trying to see if that's going to stick, that rate that they post, but doesn't mean that they're actually going to sell it for that rate. Katrina was in 2005. Yeah, sorry guys. I kind of had a brain fart over there when I said it was in 2018. Hurricane Harvey. Mm, nope, still won't hold tall to California. Yes, I am married. Let's see. Hmm. Is bacon better alone or with eggs? This is a very important question. I believe bacon is the best when it's on the side as well as chopped up, put into an omelet together with mushrooms, olives, lots of Swiss cheese, some cheddar cheese, and green bell peppers. Mix it all together. Eat that omelet with some sriracha or some hot sauce, and then eat bacon on the side. I'm clearly hungry. Um, okay. Again, if I skip your question, it's because I answered a similar one before. And I'm gonna be around for about 5 more minutes. um, can you talk about Go Highway? I'm actually going to make a video on Go Highway. It's going to be a great video since I just talked about verified carrier, which pissed a lot of people off. We'll talk about Go Highway because it's another mess and it's overreaching. So yes, I will make a video on that. uh, FMCSA as a client of Carrier 411 seems to be a conflict of interest. Are you sure FMCSA is a client of Carrier 411? I know that Carrier 411 pulls information that is available on the FMCSA through their code, but I haven't heard that FMCSA is actually a client on Carrier 411. Um, let's see. Thoughts on expediting and box trucking. Phil, I have actually never worked with box trucks, so I am not sure, but I do want to highlight your comment just in case someone wants to jump in. Those of you who are experienced or have experience in box trucking or expedited freight, what do you think? Um, Yes, the answer is yes. Okay, that was a response to another question. Can you make a video on how to do a carrier packet with a broker? Um, I think I don't think I'll be completely honest. I don't think I'll make a video on it. It is pretty straightforward. If you're stuck somewhere with a carrier packet with a broker, because I know there are different ones. There's my carrier packets or MIS, highway, there's the paper packets that they send. If you're stuck somewhere, send me an email. I'll help you out. Thank you so much, Mad Fire Entertainment. Wow, you're live. Hello. I thought it was Sunday when I saw you were live. Did you ever get business funding for your business? And was it a lot? That is a great question. First of all, thank you so much for your support. No, I never got funding for the business. Yeah, I never, I actually, at that time when they were doing the funding due to COVID, you're talking about those small business loans, I'm guessing. I didn't need them, and right now, knowing what I know, I wouldn't get it. Now, in terms of business funding, like financing a truck and taking a loan, yeah, but it's through a financing company. Thank you for your support. Um, do, 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 do. When using the spot market for loads, in your experience, what is an acceptable cost per mile to remain profitable? I'm guessing you're saying rate per mile, but rate per mile will directly depend on your cost per mile, which is different for every person, right? So, for example, if your cost per mile is $1.80, then if you're booking loads for $1.79 on average with deadhead, don't forget deadhead, you're losing that 1 cent on every mile you run. So it depends on what kind of profit you want to see and what your cost per mile is. Yeah, like this. I have issues connecting ELD with Highway. I paid extra for the service for my ELD provider, but Highway keep asking me to use ELD, which I'm already using. Yeah, I've heard a lot of problems with this ELD thing. A lot of carriers have either an issue connecting their ELD to Highway, which makes brokers say, well, we can't use you, or they just don't want to connect their ELD to Highway. Yeah, it's a little crazy. Again, I'll make a video on Highway. Yeah. Um, so I cannot answer this question because I have not been in the hazmat side of the industry. But for you guys, if you can help Jacob out here, he is planning on going to work in the haz waste management. Is it a good route to specialize in hazmat? I would guess that hazmat has not as much competition, so the pay might be better. But that's my guess. Will you still be lifting nickels as if they're manhole covers when time becomes good money again? What do you mean? I'm sorry. Okay, guys, I'm so sorry, but today for some reason I'm so sleepy and I'm sometimes not getting the meaning of comments, but I'm guessing you're talking about money management. Yeah, no, I'm very I think um I think I was not traumatized. That is so dramatic. I wasn't traumatized, but I was taken aback by how quickly this industry deteriorated and what happened, like in our company, to the point where I think for the rest of my life, I'm going to be one of those people who is very careful with money, regardless of whether I have, you know, $1 or $10 million in the bank account. I will never again trust that money is going to stick. Does that make sense? Yeah. And I think it's a good way to be, right? If you know how to manage money, you're basically safe no matter what. So I like it that way. Mm. Mm. Darren said it straight out of his mouth in a recent interview that the FMCSA is a client of Carrier 411. That's crazy. Wow. I've seen that interview. I must have missed that part. I've been noticing a change in the market since the holiday season. Do you think it's temporary or is the market turning around? I think there are signs that the market is turning around. They are not big enough yet to be felt. I think what we're seeing right now is not even the holiday season, it's the result of capacity leaving temporarily due to the weather. That's what happened last year. Um, Rosie, what is the national average that loads paid per mile in 2024 for flatbed? It changed week by week. I actually have weekly videos. They're all on my channel. Weekly market updates where I always talked about the rate per mile for that week for dry vans, reefers, and flatbeds. But I don't know from the top of my head what was the average for 2024. All right, guys. I think I'm going to answer just a couple more questions and then I'm going to bounce. I must eat something and I must get myself another Diet Coke because I'm out. Let's see. Uh, Something that I haven't answered yet. Oh, for everyone, does anyone need an OTR driver? um, Wanted to ask you if you recommend a specific app to keep track of my drivers. So on Motive, if you use the Motive VLD, it keeps track for you. You can also use, I mean, it depends on what kind of relationship you have with your guys. I also use Find My Friends. That's how I keep track of mine on my phone all the time. Yep. There won't be a market change for quite a while. Yeah, there's like some people say no, 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 the market is changing. Other people are saying no, 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 it is not. uh, if a broker snorts when they laugh during a phone call, is it harder to take them seriously? I feel like when a broker, you know, I always appreciate the human moments. It's not just brokers, it's anyone. I especially appreciate it from people who seem very serious or very like, I'm all about business, like when they yawn or when they sneeze and when it kind of catches them off guard because their mask comes off for that one moment where they realize I'm human too. I love those moments. That makes me feel like if a broker were to snort while laughing, depending on what they're laughing about, but I would appreciate it. I actually had a fantastic conversation with a broker, like a good 5-minute conversation about things that had nothing to do with the trucking industry. And I love when um they show that they're human too. uh, let's see. With you and your husband both being hardworking individuals, I imagine a marriage that is run like a business, complete with licenses, insurance schedules, and meetings. You know what? That is pretty accurate. It's definitely it just works because I think it's less. Geez, I don't even know how to explain it. My relationship is definitely not something that is common. I would suppose that would be in terms of the relationship itself, it's not common. It's not the way people usually are in a relationship. It's very much a lot of like, he's my sounding board, I'm his sounding board, and going from there, and then just building on top of that. It's really, it works. It works. I'm a lucky girl. um All right, guys. One more question. Let me choose something that I haven't answered. Uh, Perfect. Let's see. Okay, here we go. Eli. Hi, Eli. Let's see. What do you think about using AI agents for booking loads? Do you have experience with that? I do not have AI agents. What do you mean? Like an online system like Uber or like Coyote or something? I always said, like I said this in one of my last lives, in terms of booking loads, I would rather on one hand, it's easier to do it through a booking system because you don't have to deal with a person. But on the other hand, I would always rather deal with a person when booking loads because you can still appeal to their better nature in a way and you can negotiate better than with a computer. So, yeah. Uh, all right, guys. I do apologize, but I do have to bounce, and hopefully I'll do maybe another live video on Saturday. I don't promise anything, but if I do, I will post like 2 hours in advance or so that I'm going to do a live video. So I do appreciate all of you guys joining today. I will be making another video on Highway and what Highway is doing. I will be making a market update, of course. And yeah. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching and joining today. I hope you have a fantastic rest of your Tuesday. See you in the next video. Bye. Bye, guys.